It's just pointing out that time is passing and that you are on a time crunch. So it feels a little bit like, you know, Sinclair got a little peek into what the shadow voice is like, but is still kind of trying to figure it out, right? Like, he just thinks that it's an inside voice that taunts her. I also wanted to point out that whenever the shadow voice tells her that you better start running, again, Ophelia says its tone carried an edge of maliciousness she had never noticed before, right? Like, it feels different. In that same kind of moment, we get again the shadow voice saying, you let them dig around in your head after all. That means you'll have to be careful what you think in here, pretty little necromancer. And that is the first time that the shadow voice refers to her as pretty little necromancer, which is weird, right? Because, you know, who has called her pretty little necromancer? Sinclair. Then we get introduced to Sinclair. And one of the first things he says is, a pretty little plaything you've chosen, Blackwell. There's even a point where Ophelia says, as if he could hear her thoughts, Sinclair's eyes slid to her face, slits of his pupils dilating as they took her in. So that already kind of tracks that maybe he already has access to her mind, and that's why it feels as though he is reading her thoughts. Then there's another time where he says, because there have been rumblings about the pretty little necromancer who's helping Blackwell. Pretty little necromancer, where have we heard that before? And again, no other time do we hear anyone talk like this. So yeah, there's other times where the shadow voice calls her a foolish girl, says things like, this is utterly delightful. And I can't remember specifically off the top of my head. I already kind of quickly found these quotes. But I feel like there were times where he either said those words or just in general feels very Sinclair-y to say those sort of things. So that is why I kind of think that it's Sinclair, because of those voices matching up. It feels very intentional and makes a lot of sense that at the very beginning of Phantasma, he probably was just trying to fuck with her because probably everyone got fucked with in a certain way. And so he kind of quickly got a glimpse of what exactly the shadow voice was, tried to mimic it, and then went on his way. Shadow voice doesn't come up a whole lot. And then all of a sudden, once Sinclair realizes, like, oh shit, this Ophelia girl might be the person to get Blackwell out of here, I need to do something, he kind of uses the shadow voice as a way to potentially, you know, make her more insecure, make her more hesitant to want to continue with Blackwell. And so I do think, looking back at all the quotes, I think it's possible that probably not every single time that the shadow voice pops up that it is Sinclair while she's in Phantasma. It makes sense that her OCD is not just going to stop